early series lead versus the Grizzlies. They had a 128-112 win yesterday. Morant injured his right hand in the fourth quarter. After the game, he said his status for game 2 was, quote, in jeopardy. That could be a huge issue. Shannon, you chose the Lakers in 7. You want to change your prediction for this series?
Skip, I think the thing that Ja does have on his time is he has time. Sunday, they don't play again until Wednesday, so it should calm down. That wrist should calm down. Still might impact his ability to shoot the ball effectively, although he's not the greatest shooter from outside anyway. It still could have some impact on him. I picked the Lakers in 7. And if you tell me Ja is not going to play, or he's not going to be himself for a substantial period of time, but obviously I'd be willing to change that and say maybe 5 games. But I don't know. And the thing that I'm hoping is that the Lakers don't become complacent, because it's not the first to 1 win, it's the first to 4 wins. How soon can you get to 4? And the one thing that this team needs is rest, because their best player is 38 years of age on 20-year legs. So with that being said, as soon as you can dispatch and get an opportunity to rest, give him a week, give him 8, 9, 10 days to rest, the better you are going to be moving forward. So if you tell me that Ja's going to say he's not going to be himself, I go 5. I'll come down to 5.
Okay, what if he is himself?
6.
Okay, so you have come down with a healthy Ja, or relatively healthy Ja.
Yeah.
You drop it 1 game.
1 game.
Okay, I said Lakers in 6. I don't care Ja or no Ja. I'm going to drop it 1 game to 5.
Okay.
But I will say this. I have high respect for Tyus Jones, because as backup point guards go, I'm not sure there's a better one.
I agree.
There are times when I'm rooting against Memphis that he comes in and he scares me as much as Ja does, because he's a much better shooter from deep.
Yes.
And he can get hot-handed from 3. Do you remember that quarter he played, the third quarter out here against at LA against the Clippers? Mm-hmm. He went crazy making 3-point shots, shot the Clippers out of the crypt. Mm-hmm. Well, he's capable. Sometimes he can be a better overall sort of facilitator, more of a pure point guard who can also score when called upon, when need be. So I don't think they fall that much off. And by the way, if you look at what they've done, what are they? They're 32-13 in games he's had to play for Ja. 32-13. Remember last year it felt like they were better with Tyus Jones.
But Skip, this year they're only 11-10.
Okay. All right.
And a lot of that has to do not only they play without Ja, they play without Big Steve and Adams. They play without Clark.
Brandon Clark. Okay, I got it. So the point is, the craziest part of yesterday for me was, I'm watching this game and I'm thinking, what if LeBron were playing LeBron-esque? What?
Oh, they'd blow him out.
Hey, it'd be a wipeout. It wouldn't have been a contest early on, because remember, he gets off to a rocky start. I'm going to show you his turnovers, and I'm going to tell you what they were. That they were actually up 6 and up 3 on the first 2, so keep that in mind as we watch LeBron's turnovers. They were careless, like he's been on a bad roll with turnovers lately that I don't understand, but these are, he can clean these up. Okay, he just threw that out of bounds. Okay, they're up 6 at that point. He reopened the door for Memphis to get back in the game. He tried to behind the back, and it didn't work, and you get a run out with Ja and a dunk. And then at this point, now they're down 2 on the next one. So it's still a very close game, and it's just a bad idea. You're better than that. You're way better.
These were back-to-back.
Okay, back-to-back. There's another one. You're down 2 again, and then you're up 1 with 9:31 left, and he just lost the handle. Okay, Shannon, those are clean-upable. If any player in the league can clean that up, he's still the best passer in basketball. They're just careless. They're kind of like out of focus turnovers. Right. And what have you said? Game 1's on the road. Sometimes he's not locked in. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He normally says that's a feel-like game. How they're going to play, the physicality of the game, how the officials are going to call the game. But sometimes I think the officials can vary. Different officials, one team. Because, Skip, I looked at Saturday game, they let them play. They barely blew the whistle. It didn't seem like Sunday Memphis and the Lakers, it seemed like
And it was Scott Foster, which can be a good thing or a bad thing.
A bad thing, and Fisher.
I know.
That was the guy, he was at Boston.
He was?
That
That was
was
that guy?
that was him. I know him. I never forget it. I don't forget a name, a face, or an incident. So I remember that face, and I know the incident that he cost us the game in Boston.
Well, the free throws were pretty even yesterday because both teams shot 16. They made 15, you made 14. So that was pretty much a push, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Help me out. What did your eye test tell you? At the end of the game, Ja or no Ja, the Lakers are just better.
Yeah.
They're just better.
Right.
Anthony Davis is playing playoff AD basketball.
Yep.
Well, if he comes out with that kind of energy, that kind of commitment, that kind of focus, he's just better than anything they have because he's better than Jaren Jackson, and Jaren can block shots. I got it. But he can't guard. Tillman can't guard AD.
No.
They don't have anybody who can guard him. So if LeBron cleans up his act and those two come out and assert themselves, and who, as LeBron calls them, the supporting cast, it's just a squad.
Right.
You could push another button. Maybe it's Malik Beasley.
Well, Skip, I'm not necessarily going to count on 52 points from Rui and Austin Reeves again now.
But I'm going to count on whatever Austin Reeves.
Oh, yeah. But now, if Austin Reeves gave me another 20-point performance, no. But when you talk about this was one of the greatest off the bench games by a Laker. I mean, he tied Michael Thompson for the most points off the bench. In 1988, he had 29. People forget Michael Thompson was the #1 overall draft pick.
He was.
He's a radio voice now of the Lakers.
And the father of
Clay.
Yeah.
So I think people forget, don't realize that he was a really good basketball player.
Really good basketball player. Okay, so in the biggest picture, help me out. You got Austin Reeves out trash-talking them, out, if you want to call it showboating or what, I don't know, flexing or whatever it is. I loved it because that's what Memphis does to the opponent in that building.
But if you remember, Skip, they like the front run because when they were behind, they didn't say nothing. As soon as they get a couple of points and they got the lead, John, he can't guard me. He can't guard me. Dylan Brooks started whooping everybody. And that Jaren Jackson, he turned around and he got ice in his veins.
Okay.
But so, then now all of a sudden, Austin Reeves doing what he doing. You can hear a rat peeing on cotton balls. You couldn't hear nothing.
I agree.
Ain't nobody say nothing. Austin Reeves going a 9-0 run by himself. They close out the game on a 15-0 run and all that.
Well, what are they going to say?
Now everybody picking up the FedEx package. Everybody heading to the exit. They got a package to get.
That is correct, right?
Yeah, we got something for you.
Okay. And LeBron, I actually love this. LeBron goes over, and Dylan Brooks is trying to talk to Taylor Jenkins, and LeBron kind of leans in and eavesdrops, and it's just, it's just
doing
like,
what y'all always do to everybody.
It's doing, that's what he's doing. He's just doing to them, if we could see it, here he is over there. He's just leaning in, and it's like, really? But he's just saying, hey, we're not afraid of you guys. We will outdo you in your own building. We'll out showboat you or whatever you want to call it.
But they already know. LeBron already know what y'all going to do. Y'all heard him get the scouting report. This was after they played the Timberwolves. And he gave you the scouting report on what everybody can do. 1 through 7.
He did.
1 through 7. He said, but I ain't even paying no attention to them. I ain't even did no scouting on the Grizzlies yet.
Yeah. And by the way, Dylan Brooks shooting threes. Every time he starts to shoot one, I'm like, I'm hiding my eyes because he went 2 of 9. And it just looks awkward to me. He's going to have to improve that if he's going to stay in this league at the level that he has stayed.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, is that they count on anything that he can give them offensively is a plus.
I got it.
He's thought of as a defender. Now, to be a defender and stay in this league, you got to, especially at that size, you kind of need to be like a Ben Wallace or Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they gave you 6, 8 points, but they're going to give you 18, 20 rebounds. Mm-hmm. They're going to give you outstanding defense.
Agreed.
One of the guys was a 4-time defensive player of the year. The other guy was a 2-time defensive player of the year. But he's definitely going to have to get better at shooting the basketball.
Yep.
And you can't talk about shooting the basketball. Mm-hmm. You got to shoot the basketball.
Okay. In the end, he can't guard LeBron.
No.
I'm sorry, he just can't.
No.
And I don't like any of their matchups because I think they're going to have to dare somebody to shoot. And trust me, one of those other guys that I named, it's going to be Beasley, it's going to be Schroeder, it's going to be D'Lo, it's going to be Troy Brown. Somebody will get a hot hand from 3 because somebody always does, if not Austin Reeves.
Right.
You can't plug all the holes that the Lakers are going to cause you because not only do they play high-level defense, but Now LeBron's got snipers around him that he trusts.
Well, that's what he needs. Skip, if you look, remember LeBron was at his best when he had guys Channing Frye, and he had JR, and he had Kevin Love, or Kyle Korver, or you go back to Miami. When he had a Mike Miller, he had a Ray Allen, he had a Shane Battier.
That 1 year?
He had guys that can knock down shots.
Mario Chalmers could knock down.
If you can knock down shots, now you're going to space the floor.
Yeah.
Now he can play more downhill. He can play more one-on-one. AD will have more one-on-one opportunities to punish whomever is guarding him. So
listen, I thought LeBron should have attacked more. He could foul out Dylan Brooks in a half if he would just put his head down and go.
Right.
But it wasn't his best game. My point is, it wasn't his best game, and they won by 16. What do you think is going to happen in Game 2? I think the Lakers are going to win Game 2. So where do I believe? If it's going to be in 5, I say, well, where is Memphis going to win a game? Game 5 back home? Is that
but Skip, it's hard for me to see a scenario in which they go to L.A. down 0-2 and they make it back home for a game.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. Where is it?
It's tonight. Excuse me, not tonight.
It's
Wednesday night.
Yes.
Is I think it's almost must win for them.
Okay, so I believe the Lakers are going to win Game 2. Should I then up my prediction?
Well, if you believe they're going to win Game 2.
Okay, well, you don't. I think you do. And again, do we overreact off Game 1? Sure we do. I think people are going to overreact about what happened to Phoenix last
Skip,
night.
you know what? I'm not looking at like the 16 points because I think, look, it kind of got out of hand late in the ball game. It was a nip-tuck ball game. The game was right there. But I did feel that this was a very favorable matchup for the Lakers, considering who they were missing. No Adams, no Clark.
Huge.
Those are huge. Because now you're taking 12, 14 rebounds off the board. You're taking defensive presence off the board. So with that being said, let go, Lakers. Go and do this thing.
Do this thing. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want to go stink it up and have them win by 20 because then it flips the whole script.
Look, we greedy.
Okay.
We greedy.
You should be greedy because you're better.
Yeah, we greedy. So we ain't just come to get one.
Okay.
We want sweepstakes. We want it all.
Well, at some points, I'm thinking, do you have the 3 best players on the floor?
The Reed?
Yeah.
Cole and Ozark?
Yeah.
Hey.
Maybe. I don't know. I know you got the best 2.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
The video of Jaw's injury, guys, was just cringeworthy, the way his fingers bent back.
Yeah.
We're eagerly awaiting updates on what that holds for the future. All right. Game 2 now a must-win as well for KD and the Suns.
Oh, Lord.
Let's get your take on that one, gentlemen, in just a moment.